Hello everyone, welcome to my new video on computer networking where I am discussing about encapsulation and decapsulation in computer networking. In my last video, I discussed about what are the different layers in OSI model and also TCP IP model. Now, there are some questions which will arise in our mind when we look at the different layers of OSI model. So the questions are like, are these layers implemented in software, hardware, or combination of both? So these layers, OSI layers, helps in the transfer of data from source to destination. Now, some of the questions you can ask or can come in your mind is, are they implemented in software, hardware, or combination of both? Does these layers reside on my laptop or router or the server? Where are all these layers protocols actually implemented? And then how does communications takes place using these layers or protocols? So we will try to answer these questions in this video. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel for uh, more content on similar topics. And it will also encourage me to put more effort and make more videos on this type of topics. So moving on to first, let's describe what is encapsulation and decapsulation of data in computer networking. So data encapsulation is when, so what is computer networking all about? It's all about transferring data from source to destination. Now, in the process, what happens? Some extra headers are added to the application data. This is called data encapsulation. And this happens on the source host. So we will later see examples how this happens. And data decapsulation is just the reverse process of data encapsulation. Now, encapsulated information is removed from the application data here. And this happens on the destination host. And this all, encapsulation and decapsulation, all are performed by the kernel. And also each layer is only concerned with their headers and other information is hidden from them. So transport layer will be concerned with the transport layer header. Similarly, network layer will be concerned with the network layer header. They will not, so network layer will not be concerned with what is in the transport layer header and what is in the application or message. It will not care about that. Now, see the example for encapsulation. So the encapsulation on the, I told you, encapsulation happens on the source side. So initially there will be message on the application. Then on the next layer, this segment, that segment is there on the next layer. That means the header of the transport layer gets encapsulated into the message. At the next level, if you see header of network layer. So now you have, header of transport plus message. In this, the header of network layer gets encapsulated. You go a layer below this. Now header of link layer gets encapsulated into the whole data that has arrived from the top. And here, if you see, we have 5 layers. I'm discussing about the TCP IP stack in which there are 4 layers. So in some books they will mention 4, in some books they will mention 5. It does not matter. You can physically add just for transmission of data. So you can basically combine the link and physical into a link layer. You just diagram it's 5. It doesn't matter much. Similarly, for decapsulation, the opposite will happen. So in decapsulation, the frame will arrive on the link layer, and link layer will only take care of the header of the link layer. It will see the data from there and it will remove that header and pass on the, remaining is called the datagram. It will pass on network layer. Network layer will only care about HN, that is network layer headers. It will remove that and pass the remaining, that is segment, to the transport layer. Similarly, transport layer will only see the HT, that is the transport layer headers, and it will remove that HT and pass the message to the application layer. This is decapsulation, that is the opposite of encapsulation. And this happens on the destination host. Now let's understand about what is PDU, what is header field, and what is payload field. You will hear this many times. So PDU is protocol data unit. So for each layer, there is a data unit. So for link layer, it's called frame. For network layer, the PDU is called datagram. For transport layer, it's called segment. And application layer, it's called message. So that basically segment layer, if you see segment data, it's a combination of both application, message, and headers of transport layer. Datagram is a combination of all three. Headers of transport and network plus the message from application. Frame is a combination of HL, that is the headers of headers of link layer plus headers of network and transport plus message. So these are called PDU. For each layer, you have a PDU. Now header field, in this the header, so the respective header field in transport layer, if you see, the header field is HT. In network, it's HN. In link layer, it's HI. Then what is the remaining part called as? So in transport, you have HT as the header. Then what is that M called as? That M is called the payload field. Similarly, network, you have the HN as the header field. What is the remaining HT plus M called as? That is called as payload. So the remaining part other than the header is called payload. Then similarly in frame, HL is your header for link layer. The remaining HN plus HT plus M is your payload field. Now let's understand data transfer. This is the important, I will say, this is a very important part here. Understanding data transfer. Data transfer happens from source to destination host. And we will take example of opening facebook.com in your browser and how this data gets transferred from your browser to server and again back from server to your browser. So basically how your browser is able to render the facebook.com page. Now this is the, I will say, the overall diagram of how it actually happens, but we will break down into smaller chunks. So first, if you see this, there is a source where your browser is there and you are typing facebook.com. Then you have in between, you have network devices like switches and routers. And finally, you have the destination on which actually this facebook.com is being hosted on some server. So, okay, we will start from the source. So on source, I told you first encapsulation will happen. So let's start with the message. So here, if you see in this diagram, you have M, you have HT and M, H and HT, then HL. So I will try to basically describe these headers by taking example of facebook.com so that it becomes easy for you. So first let's start with the source, and the first layer we will see the application layer, because the data first will start from application layer, then we will move to transport, then to network, then to link, then through physical medium it will go to the first link layer switch, then from link layer switch again through physical medium it will go to router, then from router again it will go to the destination host. Now first step is of course the encapsulation that will happen on the source host. So let's see this, how this happens. The first layer, of course, is the application layer. And in case of facebook.com, what will your message? The message will be something like get, what is the HTTP, what is the protocol, and what is the version of that, that is 1.1. Then what is the host name? Host name is facebook.com. So do not have to understand much about this. We will discuss about this information more in application layer itself. Now the first thing that will happen is DNS resolution will happen to get the destination IP address, because everything happens with the help of IP address, not with the help of these host names, not host names, with this, I mean, the facebook.com that you have. Now, this application layer cannot transfer this message. So it will ask the transport layer to transfer the message to the destination host. So now you will go to the second layer, that is transport layer. So transport layer, here you have the concept of ports. So HTTP applications normally runs on port number 80. Therefore, our HTTP application is running on the destination host. So destination port becomes 80. Now source port can be any random port, but it should not be in some range. There are some reserved ports already there on a system, so that should not be selected. So I have selected some random port 2022. This will be done by the transport layer. Now, if TCP is being used, there will be a connection established between the source and destination. Next, this I will discuss more in the transport layer, how this connection establishment happens, not now. Now in this, the segment here will be, so I told you, I will take example of, I will expand each of these headers. So here header is HS, that is header of, sorry, it should be HT, sorry, I forgot that. It should be HT, that is header of transport layer. In this, the two important information will be, what is the source port, what is the destination port. And with this, it gets appended with or encapsulated with the message, and this becomes the segment. This will be passed, okay. Before passing this to the network layer, just understand this. In transport layer, you have socket programming. So everything that is happening with the help of socket programming. So there are network system calls. So everything is being done by kernel itself. So the application, so your browser, it will, when you are typing out facebook.com and hitting enter, it will spawn a new process or a thread, and then it will use these system calls to make the connection. So for connection, it will use connect system call. For sending the data, it will use send system call. For receiving, it will use receive system call. And these all system calls are taken care by the kernel. Kernel implements all this. Now, the network layer will pass transport layer passes segment for transfer to the destination. Now this what network layer will do is it deals with the IP and the routing protocol. So what it will do is it will take us what is the source IP address and what is the destination IP address. So let us source IP address is this thing 192 point this, destination IP is 157 something. Then it will encapsulate with the data it got from the top. So it got it will be HT and message from the top. It will encapsulate with this, and this is the HN here, that header for network layer. That is the source IP, destination IP, and this together is called a datagram. Now it will pass this to the network layer. Sorry, this will pass to the network layer. Will pass datagrams to transfer to the destination host to the data link layer. Our data link layer transfer this datagram to. Okay, sorry, this was called datagram. Okay, it's correct. So pass this to the pass the datagram to the destination host. Now data link layer will see that is the destination host on same network or different network. If it is on same network, it already has a protocol to transfer this. But let's say if it is on different network, that is our case here, it will get the IP address of the default gateway or router. So if you have seen this in this diagram, right? So link layer switch, this is actually a part of link layer, and it is connected with a router here. So this data link layer will get the IP address of the default router that is connected there, and it will use some protocol to find the MAC address of that router. So every device on internet has a unique MAC address, and data link layer, I will say communication happens with the help of MAC address. So when you are using Ethernet protocol, so here in the header of link layer, you will have source MAC address and destination MAC address. Let's call source MAC as SM, destination as that is RM, that is router MAC address. Then you have the remaining part, that is HN, HS, and message. That is, sorry, it will be HN, HT, and M, and this together is called a frame. Now this frame travels through switch and router to reach the destination. That means now your frame is ready here, this thing. But I have already explained you what is HL, HN, and HD in details, taking example of Facebook.com, and what is the message also. Now this frame will transfer through this physical cables or through the physical layer, and this will reach this router first. No, sorry, not router, switch first. The only role of switch here is to forward this frame to the destination MAC address. So destination MAC address is of the router, so it will forward this frame to the router. Now again in router, okay, and one more thing to remember, there are different layers used at different devices. So at your end host, that is source and destination, all these 4 layers or 5 layers are used. On your router, only link layer and physical layer are used. On your router, 3 layers are used: physical, link, and network. Because a router is not concerned with application data. It is not concerned with the transport layer data. Similarly, a router is not concerned with your application layer. What is the data there? What is the transport? Only the end host actually are concerned with the data. That is the port number and also the data. So you will see that. Now this router, what it will do is, so this router will get this frame. So it got this frame here. Then it will basically, I told you, this decapsulation will happen. It will remove HL and pass the next to the network layer. The network layer, what it will do is, so here routing happens. The network layer will, depending on the destination IP address that is present in the header of the network layer, it will find out, where to forward this, to which IP I should forward this. So it will see that the next IP, so this, if you see this destination host, it's on the same network as the router. So it knows that, okay, the destination IP is on my same network. So it will basically ask, the link layer to forward this, whatever this, this datagram will not change. So it will ask the link layer to forward this datagram to this IP address, that is this destination IP address. Now this link layer will get the MAC address of this destination IP address. It will put that in HL. You have source and destination. Source will be the source MAC address will be, the MAC address of router. Destination MAC address will be that of the destination, this destination. And then it will basically pass this through the physical layer it will pass the frame through physical layer to this destination. Now the frame has finally arrived on the destination. Now let's look what happens. So now you have the frame on the destination. Now let's see what happens. So now basically you will see decapsulation will happen, but we will see how that happens, how decapsulation actually happens, that we will see. So again, decapsulation will happen on the destination host, as I told you before. Now, similarly, now the frame arrived on data link layer. So what data link layer will do is, it will, I mean, this frame has arrived on data link layer, right? So it will verify the destination MAC address and check for any errors that has happened. So we will discuss about check errors function later on in the data link layer, but it will verify the destination MAC address, where it is correct or not. And if it is correct, then it will basically decapsulate this HL, this thing. It will remove this and pass on the remaining, I mean, whatever you have, HN plus, this should be HT, I have put it wrong everywhere. I mean, HN, HT plus M to the layer above it. And in case the MAC ID is not correct, then it will basically drop this frame. Now it will reach the network layer. The network layer will only receive these three parts. It will receive the header of this network layer plus HT plus message. Now what this network layer will do, it will verify that the destination IP address is correct. If it is not correct, it will again drop this. And it will do is, it will decapsulate this. It will remove this header from this and pass the remaining to the transport layer. So remaining these two will be passed to the transport layer. Now transport layer, again, it will see the, it is concerned with the HT part. So it will see what is the destination port. It is 80. So it will try to find out which application is running on port 80. So a web server is running on port 80. HTTP web server is running on port 80. So it will pass this message. So it will decapsulate this, it will remove this and pass the remaining message to this application which is running on port 80. Now finally, application layer will receive this one, only this thing, that this message it will receive, the application that is running on port 80. That is get HTTP1 and host this thing. This is the message that it receives. Now what it will do is, it will process the request and create a response message. So now it has to reply back to the source with the response. So it will create the response. The response will be something like, let's say, as this, I mean, this server is also using HTTP 1.1 protocol, and it will, this is the status code, that is 200, that is okay. It's everything is fine, and with okay, and the HTML code for facebook.com, it will, this will be the response, and it will then ask transport layer to transfer this to the source IP address. So you got it, the same cycle will happen again. So now you have the response here. Now this response, application will ask transport will ask network. So same cycle will continue in the reverse direction till it reaches the host. And again on host, decapsulation will happen. And finally the response message will reach to the application. I hope now that you would have understood how data transfers from source to destination, and how data gets transferred from source to destination using different layers of TCP/IP stack, using your application transport network and link layer. And in this example, we took a very simple example where we had only one routers, but in case you have multiple routers also, the same protocol will follow. So basically, here was one router. Let's say there was another router here, and this router was then getting connected to this route. This was not there, and this, from this router you were getting connected to this destination host. Then again, same, this three layers will be on this router also, and the same thing will happen. So basically, on this router, the frame will be received from this router. So basically, the only difference will be that here the destination MAC address in this case was directly of the destination, but for this router, the destination MAC address will be of this router. So this frame will reach here, and again a similar step will follow, and again everything same will happen. You can include multiple routers here. On every router, a routing algorithm will run, which will find out which router next to forward this frame. That will keep on happening. So that's all for this video. And if you have any doubts, do ask in comments. And I'm sure that the first 3 videos that I have created for networking, that is what is the internet and how internet works. The second video was based on the protocols, OSI layer and the TCP/IP protocol. And in this video, I've explained how actually data gets transferred from source to destination. So I hope from these 3 together, you would have understood at least how internet works. Actually, you would have understood that in details. But now in our next videos, what we will discuss is that we will start from top to bottom. We will go from top to bottom layers. So we'll start with application layer, discuss about different protocols in application layer. Then we go to transport layer, discuss about that. We'll go then to network layer. So we'll follow this. So from next video onwards, I'll focus on application layer. Thank you.